Okay, well, welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least three topics each week. If you are new to our little party here, we welcome you and we're glad you found us. If you're back, we welcome you back and you're the real MVP. The sultry voice you're about to hear is our point person and optimistic realist. We call her Star.
Jimmy cracked corn, and I don't give a fuck.
Pretty much.
Diligent.
And the dulcet baritone that you hear is our man in the middle, our voice of reason. We call him Magic.
I'd rather be loved by one than adored by millions. Why the hell is that funny?
I keep it to myself.
You just livened her up real quick.
That's what you do on a podcast.
And bringing up the rear, as always, I identify as the pragmatic contrarian of the group. And they call me Storm.
3, 2.
You're getting better.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody
That
got...
range did you good.
Anybody got any church announcements?
BET said, psych, we ain't selling nothing to you niggas.
I missed that.
My
what
fault,
are we talking
Paramount,
about?
but they ain't selling BET to you blackies.
Wow. Who was buying it?
Okay.
Tyler,
who was
Tyler Perry, supposedly.
Yeah. And then they withdrew at the last minute or something?
Yep.
Damn.
Wow.
Black entertainment will be continued to own by white folks. Yay.
He should just start his own network.
I mean, it's been so long since I've looked at BET, so I can't even really tell you anything about it because I mean it's been probably a smooth 2 decades since I've really been watching anything.
Been about how long has it been since it was owned by Bob Johnson?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say BET's been trashed since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Thanks, Viacom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever.
Trash.
I mean, speaking of Paramount, like I honestly watch Paramount Plus a whole lot more than I watch BET. So there's that.
Supporting the man.
Okay. The man got Star Trek. What can I say?
All the exploitation of black people on Star Trek.
Sure. That's a thing.
They got the one brother that does Reading Rainbow blind. Get to see the back of Shorty nappy ass wig every episode. All right, go ahead.
You are clearly not a Trekkie because he is not blind. For the record.
Ish.
Anyway.
Church announcements. I don't know why it came up in the why it's coming up in the feed. I don't know if his name is out there, but Jacob Copeland, remember him?
No.
Okay. So Jacob Copeland was the young man whose mom walked out on him when he made his commitment to Florida. Remember? Neither one of you remember this? Sports people?
No.
I don't do college sports.
Okay, so Jacob Copeland, he was supposed to make a decision between Florida and I can't remember what other school it was. University it was. However, his mom had on the hat of the school she was rooting for. And I guess she thought that's what he was going to say. And he ended up signing, or he chose to sign with the Florida Gators. And no sooner than he makes his announcement, she reaches over, grabs her purse, and walks out, like in front of the table, in front of the cameras. Like,
Okay.
She took the money.
first of all, listen, that's what I said when I saw it. Like, this story is like, I want to say about a
Well,
good 5 years old.
maybe that was her alma mater, and
Who
she
gives a
thought he would
shit?
go
That's your
there.
son. And this is his biggest day in his career thus
No,
far.
it's
And
not.
he, in his
Thus
career thus
far.
far, that he's thus far, his
I know,
signing
but
day.
don't nobody remember the signing day, the commitment day for college, because half of them these days, after they commit to one school, they go back 2 months later and change it. So don't nobody care about this shit no more.
Yeah,
I
well,
remember a few
whatever.
people's.
He was clearly, like, if you see the video, like, he was clearly upset, and the reporter, the person whose voice that you hear on the video, he was like an ass. Like, I don't know who I was more mad at. Was I mad at her because she clearly shook him up? Because as she walked out, you could see his head hang, and he kind of got choked up. And there were two people, I
He
guess,
felt
from,
bad because he disappointed her.
I guess, you know what I mean? And but it's like, dude, you would bring all the attention on you on his big day. Like, you could, man,
Women.
just people in general. Yeah, that shit pissed me off when I saw it. Um, and I don't know what school he ended up officially going to, whatever. Um, Unfortunately, he entered the NFL as an undrafted rookie free agent.
Right.
Um, and I'm not even sure what he's doing now. I think, yeah, I don't know who
Uh,
he signed with or anything like that. But
yeah, honestly, I've never even heard of the young man, so I don't know what he must have done in college, but like I have no, like he's not on my
No.
radar.
yeah, like I said, that video's been floating around on social media, and I was just wondering,
Yeah,
like, because that
but
that video, like, clearly, it just
but I
pissed
mean
me off.
the fact that he entered as an undrafted free agent tells me, that I'm not tripping that I don't know who he is. So, but
Not checking
you
for
know,
him.
Good
well,
luck.
it's not that I'm not checking for him. It's just he's not on my radar. But I'm rooting for everybody. So shout out to that young man, and I hope he does big things.
I
He
hope he
wouldn't be the
does.
first. He wouldn't be the first undrafted free agent to do big things in the NFL. So
Yeah, I hope he
I'm
does
rooting for
well.
him.
I figure right about now, he probably should have graduated either last year or this year. So, yeah. Hopefully he does
Okay.
well. Shout out to Jacob. Like I said, that video resurfaced and I've seen it a couple of times. I'm like, I don't know why it's playing, but um his mom was an ass, and so was that freaking reporter asking him all them
Yeah.
stupid ass questions while you see him clearly upset. Who was that? And do you know why she walked the bitch by? Leave him alone. He's having a moment. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, whatever.
that's
The
my church
reporters
announcement.
being more concerned with the show than the news is a whole different topic, but one of these
Right.
days.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, reporters, yeah, they be assholes on a lot of levels. Like,
They are for ratings and, trying to keep their
yeah,
jobs.
like their need to get a story sometimes is just annoying
Yeah.
and disgusting. Cause I'm like, you see that person is in pain, or you see that person is going through some stuff, but you gonna shove a microphone in someone's
In
face
their face.
anyway,
Yeah.
and it's just annoying.
Very much
But
so.
yeah,
Okay.
anything else?
Now let's get
No.
to some topics.
Okay. Well, it's Stars World this week, so what are we talking about?
Okay. First
Let her
thing that we're
clear her
talking
throat.
about is you have an amazing opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity. But the only way to participate in this once in a lifetime opportunity, it means that you have to leave your home behind. Now, you only have 15 minutes to gather anything that you want out of that house. Okay? Now keep in mind your animals, your family, your animals are already out of the house. They're going with you.
Oh, I was going to say, because my dog was going to be the first thing, but
Okay.
go ahead.
Um so your family and animals are not in the picture. What else would you go back in the house and grab?
The 15-minute drill.
Um, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm co-parenting. I can't grab kids that easy. Um, my
Well,
Xbox because I'm a
your
dork.
kids are going with you. Your family and your family, spouses, significant others, and animals are out. They're already going with you. So
I was devil's advocating. My Xbox, my laptop, microphone. Haha, got a podcast. And some clothes. Definitely some music, old hard drives, deodorant, toothpaste, a deck of Cards Against Humanity, some kicks. 15 minutes is long enough
Yeah.
for me to pack for like a week-long vacation.
okay.
Most of that is stuff that I can just buy, like new. So what I would
Some of us
get
ain't
would
balling like
definitely,
that.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, you give me 15 minutes. I need, well, I'm big on memories, so I need like my my photos and memorabilia. Definitely need my laptop. Um, those would be just the main things. Like anything else, if I left behind, I could replace.
Um, Mine
Oh,
definitely. Hmm,
I'm stupid. My dad's flag.
okay.
Um,
Oh,
I definitely need my dad's flag.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I think I covered that under memorabilia because
Yeah.
there's a couple of things that I have from my parents that I would keep, but that's it. I don't need
Okay.
anything else. Anything else I could replace. I mean,
Hmm.
I got a crap load of of craft supplies, as you know, and that would hurt. It would hurt, but I could replace all that. Oh,
did I say phone?
my planners, all my planners. I got to take my planners
And you
Yeah,
said
all
your
that shit
phone.
in my phone.
and
Okay.
my phone.
Yeah.
Both my well. If it's an amazing opportunity, is this a job opportunity? If it's a job opportunity, then I only need one phone. If it's not a job opportunity, I better take them both.
And the good charger.
Okay, so mine would be pictures and family memories, which I have all in a box. So I would grab like my memory box. Important papers, phone, laptop, computer, and portable hard drives. Um, if I have the opportunity to replace anything else, I think the only other thing is that I would grab is probably my plants. I would get my plants out because some of them have special memories attached to them.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say they have special needs.
Special needs.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
Yeah,
I'm not that kind of
I'm
plant.
like, you
Technically,
got
they all
special
do,
needs,
but it
plant.
just sounds weird.
I'm not that kind of plant person. Oh, and there are. Um, I'd probably try to get with whatever remaining time that I have my book collection. I get that out. There's a few in there that are autographed that can't be replaced. Like I have a Toni Morrison that, unless somebody was selling there, but it's a personalized autograph, so I can't get that back. Maya Angelou is another one. I have one autograph by her personally, and um, there's quite a few other books that are rare books that would be hard for me to replace. so I grabbed those.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah. I'm simple, and I don't like, I'm attached to things, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say most of my stuff I could probably replace. Just the memories are the main things. Like the memories and
And a
stuff like
sandwich.
that.
You
What?
saying a what?
Sandwich.
A sandwich? You won't be
Oh,
hungry on the way to wherever you're going.
right.
Hmm.
Well, the reason why I brought that topic up is that I came across a television show. Um, and I didn't want to make the topic morbid, so that was the reason why I put my a little twist on it. But
Set
it's
us up.
like a it's like a death cleaning show, and basically, it's a purging show. I'm sorry, the co-host wants to say hello. Say hello. Okay.
Hey.
So, um, basically, it's a death cleaning show, and it's one of those shows that basically says if you only had so long to live, and you had to clean your house for whoever you were leaving it for, um, what all would you get rid of? And it's like a purging show, and I found it
It's
real
very different.
interesting. Yeah, it's like a Swedish concept, and I can't remember the exact title. It's Death something, but yeah, it's a purge show. And it got me to thinking about like a bunch of the crap that's in my house that, if something happened to me, I would hate to like leave that burden um like on my child. And so I kind of started this week kind of getting rid of some stuff, and it will continue in the weeks forward. But because I was like, if I had to leave this place, forget about dying. Like if something happened where I just had to leave, what would I grab? What would be the most important things to me? And everything else is just kind of taking up space. So, there we go. Um,
That's very different. If that's the case, I'm getting rid of all evidence.
I know that's right. Yeah, I
I'm
got
going
some.
through like Nino Brown at the Carter with the fucking magnet on hard drives and shit. Like, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
I was gonna say, because I have some journals that probably need to be burned.
Oh, I definitely have journals. I made the mistake of leaving one journal from my younger townhouse in the basement from when my ex-husband and I split, and he's never said anything about it. But you can't pay me to believe he didn't read it. Yeah, that was bad. But
Speaking
anyway,
of, I've been defilting my phone this week. I'm gonna miss some of y'all.
defilthing.
Yeah,
Oh, sounds like things are getting more serious. That's what's up.
it's been serious, but okay.
I said more serious. Like, anyway. So okay. The next one is either Q&A, whoever the first person to answer, and or like a true and false. Okay. So, of course, true and false works. Do you believe it's true or not? And then I give you the answer. And the question and answer is, do you know the answer? Got it?
Okay, we need buzzers.
Right.
Oh, we should have had buzzers. Oh, that would have been cool. So, what country has a greater diameter than the moon?
Russia? I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Country or continent?
Country. No cheating.
I'm not. I'm just trying to think, because I
Sticking
can
with
only
the
think of
first one I
one.
came up with.
Russia, that's your answer? Okay. And
Yeah, Canada's
I mean,
pretty big.
I would think the United States is bigger than Russia, but I don't know.
That's what's your answer? Your answer is I don't know.
No, my answer is the United States.
United States. Okay. Unfortunately, both of you were wrong. It is Australia. The
Mm-hmm.
moon
Ah, fuck. Didn't even think
It's
of that one.
Okay.
3,400 kilometers.
That's
What?
my bad, because that's why because I was gonna say Australia, but that's why I asked a continent or a country, but I forget Australia is both. But go ahead.
Okay,
Just
so
take the L.
that's all right.
Yeah,
Here goes the
I
next question.
am
Act like
taking
Melly
now.
know.
Okay, so here's the question. Who knows what is Scotland's national animal?
Hairy women?
I was gonna say a sheep.
I'll go with that.
Sheep is your final answers?
I
Sure.
mean, I guess. I don't know. I've never been to Scotland.
It's a unicorn.
The
Oh,
fuck?
That
okay.
is the truth.
I mean,
It
all
is
right.
their official national animal of Scotland.
I
Okay.
studied Norse and Celtic mythology, and I don't even remember them ever mentioning unicorns, but maybe the Scottish are just weird.
Clearly,
True or false? Does the Eiffel Tower grow during certain times of the year?
it's a
It's
building. Yeah.
metal. I guess technically it expands a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Okay. Because a lot of people sit up and be like, no, like that's a stupid question. But thermal expansion causes the building in the summer to sometimes grow up to 6 inches taller. Okay.
yeah. Makes
Shout out to
sense.
Um,
size queens.
name 4 words in the English language that end in dos, like DOUS. Can you? Because there's only 4.
Stupendous, horrendous, tremendous. I
Those
was
are
going to say
OUS?
ostentatious, but that's the wrong one. So there's one more.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
No guesses, Magic?
Listen. Vodka is talking right now.
I'm trying to think. Stupendous, I,
Tremendous.
tremendous, horrendous.
Well, for the sake of time, the last one is hazardous.
Oh, I never would have gotten that one because I was not
mm,
even thinking along those lines. But okay,
Okay.
Apparently I was nowhere in that category.
right,
Okay.
My head is full
So
of
the
more
last one
useless
is
information.
I know, right? Right.
right.
I know, right? So what Christmas movie did Bert and Ernie get their name from? From Sesame Street.
Shout out to my ex who used to call her tits Bert and Ernie. In hindsight, that was weird.
Used to call it what? Oh, I heard what you said. Sorry. Yeah, that was weird. um,
Does that make me gay? Anyway, Christmas
Possibly.
movies. hmm.
You
It
gotta
Um,
know
has to
it's
be one
something
I
old.
haven't seen.
It's definitely something old. It's Bert and Ernie.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Or older than that.
I don't know why.
What's the one with the
Just spit it out.
train?
I was
One
thinking Miracle on 34th Street,
Never seen it.
but but that's not the one. But that's not the one.
Oh, the Polar Express.
It's
Not that I think that's the right answer. It's just I
Polar
know it's some
Express
shit
is
I
not
haven't
it.
seen.
It's a Wonderful Life, maybe.
that is the answer.
Okay,
That is the
that's
answer.
the one I was trying to think of.
That is the
Sesame
answer.
Street
Okay.
plagiarizing. Who knew?
Oh.
Yeah, I never knew that. I never knew that that's where they got that from. But
Mhm. And I'm sorry, I did have one more. And what is the only planet to spin clockwise?
clockwise.
Uranus.
What did you
Well,
say?
he said Uranus. 'Cause he
Uranus.
just likes to say Uranus. um, well, we know it's not Pluto because one of the men I love has demoted Pluto. and I'll never forgive him for that because Pluto was my favorite.
I know. Neil deGrasse.
So I'll go with Neptune.
You have any guesses, Magic?
I did.
Oh, you said, oh, Uranus. Oh, you were serious. Okay. And so, no. Venus is the only planet that spins clockwise every 225 Earth days.
Oh, okay.
Would be the planet women are from.
Sure.
So we would have to be backwards, huh? Okay.
Sometimes.
I kind of struggle with one, and maybe I'll just let it out there, but hopefully nobody takes improper advantage of this and and says that they got it from us. But what natural, I'm sorry, it wouldn't be a natural, so it would be, well, it is natural, but it wouldn't be, never mind. Fix what you're saying. It's not an herb. It is a spice. There you go. What spice is a hallucinogen?
Mel B.
What spice?
Mm-hmm. Spice.
Does poppy seeds count?
No.
Okay.
What are poppy seeds? Are seeds, aren't they?
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't consider them a spice. I would consider that a seasoning, though. Because sometimes they grind them up and but never mind. What spice? I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
No other guesses?
But when you tell me, I'm going to go get me some.
Mushrooms.
It is nutmeg.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, that doesn't do it for me.
Nutmeg.
I can't take nutmeg in big doses. Pause. Fast forward. Whatever.
So yeah, hopefully nobody says, "Oh, let me go get," because you have to take like a lot of it.
You would have to, because I've
probably
I'm sorry. I just heard what was about to come out of my mouth, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I've had a lot of nutmeg in my life. It just doesn't sound right. But yeah, I've had a lot of nutmeg in my life, and it's never made me hallucinate. So there we go.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll take it. Yeah, that was it. Oh, I'm sorry. The one last one. What's the real name for the hashtag? The number sign.
The pound.
No.
Tic-tac-toe.
Octothorpe.
Really?
Okay. Well, yeah, its mama was tripping, because that ain't what nobody calls it.
Yeah, that's what the real name for the hashtag / number sign is Octothorpe. And that's it. All right, so
the more you know, people.
Listen, I'm all about like weird and rare like facts. I'm kind of nerdy about. So all right, so the next topic would be, if you had to sit down.
Say if you leave.
If you had to sit down with an ex to, let's just say, get $1 million, you had to have, like, spend an evening with them. No sex. It doesn't have to have sex involved. But, like, sit down with them for an evening. Rather it be attend a movie, have dinner, or whatever, with the ex that you never wanted to ever talk to again in life. Would you do it for $1 million?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I can't think of any of my exes that, like, I feel that, that much animosity toward. I just don't have those. So sure, somebody want to give me $1 million for having a conversation that I might have anyway? Sure.
I feel the
I'm good
exact
with
same
that.
way.
So I don't really have. I mean, there's one or two that I would care not to ever talk to again. But for $1 million, I'd be like, all right, I'll put up with your ass for about 4 or 5 hours. But you would be amazed. Somebody posted that question on a social media site, and you would be amazed at like people's responses, and a lot of that is, um, for
As the
show,
youngsters say, cap.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, um, oh, and my last, and I know we're going over 3 topics, but I don't think we've taken up an hour. Um,
We got time. Shoot.
Yeah, it's not even been a half an hour.
okay.
So go ahead.
I don't know if I have enough to fill a half an hour. But so this is you're late, but I get it. I get it. I have more than enough to fill a half an hour. But
I was gonna say, hey.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's why I like younger dudes. But anyway, um, so this is a first time listener dilemma. Okay.
Okay.
So
You listened to this once and thought we were qualified to help with anything. I
right.
appreciate you.
just just wanted to know our opinion, I guess. Wanted to know our opinion. So they have my opinion, but I'll repeat it if necessary. But anyway, here goes. So this is a person who has several grown adult children, and they have 2 grandchildren so far. And one grandchild was just born, like maybe, I want to say 4 days ago. So the son, the father of said child, sent the mother a video. And it was a video of this person basically flailing the child's arms and legs and whatever to the beat of a song. And at the end of the song, keep in mind, from the camera view, you can see that the person or the son is like leaning over the child, and I don't even know how they're holding the phone, but they lift the child up slightly to kind of make its head bob, and um actually let go of the child where it looked like the child kind of fell back a little bit, and like grab the phone and stop the video. Okay. The mom is livid. Okay. Livid, 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 meaning the mother of the grandchild, I mean, the grandmother of the baby. She is absolutely livid. Okay. Watching the video myself, it really got me to thinking about how people do so much for attention on social media, um, even to the point of like making like kids and animals like do like stupid stunts. Um, where do you think? What do you think is the future of this? Do you think that there'll be laws eventually against this kind of stuff? Would you be upset? Would you think it was nothing? Um, what say you?
The laws are coming. I forgot which state it was, but they just passed one where if you use your child in videos for profit, then you gotta cut them a check when they're 18. Like X amount of money you make has to be saved for them. But yeah, something's gotta be done because y'all motherfuckers will do any damn thing for attention.
Wait a minute, really? I need to look that up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot
they
which
would have
state
a
it
hard
was, but it was in
time.
the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they would have a hard time enforcing that. And the reason I say that is, well, I mean, just because, like, let's say I record a video that's not for profit, but it somehow becomes
Monetized.
for profit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it
You get
becomes
sponsorship.
profitized.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
like, they would have a hard time with that. Like, that's all I have to say. They would have a very,
Because what you got
very
to
hard
know
time
is
with that.
the majority of these influencers are, unless they're being paid by major companies, um, they're not reporting all of their income. They're not doing that.
Of course not.
Well, I mean, yeah, that too. But yeah, I mean, as far as do I think there will be laws? I can't predict the future of this stupid ass country. I just really can't. Um, I mean, honestly, I'd be surprised if it's still standing in 50 years. So the way the way it's going, but yeah, I mean, are you gonna ever stop people from making videos with their kids? No,
But if
no,
okay, so if it were your grandchild, what would you think, and would you be upset?
I would be
Keep in
cussing
mind.
my
I don't
child out
know.
or they spouse or co-parent, whatever
I
the
mean,
fuck.
I
What the fuck you doing, yo?
I don't know. Is the child hurt in some way? I mean,
So, um, it looks like the child is trying to rest. I mean, it is a newborn. It's like 5 days old. Like, I'm sorry, 3 days old. It's like 3 days old, and it looks like it's trying to
so
rest.
all it
And
does is rest,
yeah, and
basically. But my
so the
point is, if the child
Not the
was
time to
hurt
be
or
head nodding
harmed,
with them.
yeah, like if I thought the child was being harmed, then yeah. If I thought you're just irritating the child, then I mean, I'd probably be, a little irritated because that's my grandchild. But I mean, there's no need to fly off the handle about it. I mean, it's over and done with, I would imagine. So,
yeah,
Yes, but it's going to get attention, so they're going to take it up a notch.
yeah,
well, I mean, but
exactly.
there's no reason to be preemptively hostile. That's all I'm saying. Because what if it doesn't? Like, you know
Fuck
what I
that.
mean? Like you're
I'm
sitting here getting
volunteering for
mad about some.
CPS.
You're getting mad about stuff that might happen. I mean, that just don't make no sense.
You know, if your
Well,
child is an idiot and it's bad enough they procreated, you got to stop them at some point.
Well, well then you should have been mad when they procreated. like you knew then that
and
it
they
wasn't going to
were,
be.
and
You,
trust me, they were.
okay, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like you knew then that it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. So why you mad now? Like you already knew that stuff was going to be out of pocket. So you've already resigned yourself that you were going to have to step in and do some things. So, I mean,
Speaking of
no sense in
online
being mad.
fuckery, I just saw a video with a baby not old enough to hold their own head up getting a lineup in a barber's chair.
What?
Mm.
Listen, that sounds about as bad as this video that I saw. It looked like a little girl who, I want to say this child was somewhere between 6 and 9 months, and the hair was that she had was very spotty. Um, and they took her to someone, and they set her up in this little thing, and they added hair to her hair, and
Jesus,
managed to
blood
get
Christ.
right, and managed to get like 8 braids, like 8 cornrow braids going across the, like, first of all,
Mm, mm, mm.
the comments were, "Oh, you did that, blah blah blah, because this, that, and the other, blah 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 blah." But I'm sitting up there looking at that video like,
The
what? Where?
niggatry.
Yeah, like,
Okay, now that I would probably be mad about because I've gotten braids before, and that's close to child abuse. That shit hurts. I can't
Mm.
imagine doing it on somebody whose skull
Skull ain't
hasn't
done
even
healing.
fused. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, your skull hasn't even fused, and somebody's yanking hair. No, that's awful.
when I tell you, I sat there and I thought about the fact that the skull hasn't fused together. That's number one. But number two, when you have a child that is that small and has spot hair that has, little problem growth spots, rather it be that, what do
It
you call it, that
happens.
bed rub, that how some
Yeah,
kids lose their hair in the back of
Cradle
their head.
cap.
yeah,
Cra- no, not cradle cap, because cradle cap is like exaggerated dandruff.
yeah. No, I know what you're
Um,
talking about, but they're gonna make it worse by yanking on it
Yep.
and
like when
pulling
they're
it.
that small, you really are only supposed to be like sticking headbands on like the child. If
I
net,
don't even like the headbands.
I don't mind the little headbands as
Oh, I
long
don't
as they
like the
aren't
headband.
tight.
And I'll tell you why I don't like the headbands, because I know when I wear headbands, they give me a headache.
Well,
And
that's
so,
adult
Got
headbands.
a
The
big
little
head.
baby headbands are like soft and not tight, and yeah.
yeah, I'm talking about any headband I wear does that. And it doesn't have to do with, well, anyway, it has to do with the way it hits my temple. Like my temples just don't like to have any type of pressure on it, whether it's soft or not. And so so when I see babies in headbands, I'm like, that baby can't even tell me if it's annoying them. Like the baby can't tell me. And what does the baby need a headband for? So if I were to put like when I if I were to put a headband on, it would only be like long enough to take a photo or something, and I take it right off because I just don't like them. I just don't.
Yeah, I
Also,
feel
grown
you.
ass women, if there's like a 2 inch part between your braids, stop doing that shit. Just put on a wig or a hat.
Listen, 2 inch part, but like with this little girl, with this baby, there was at least like maybe 3 to 4 inches worth of space in between each braid. It just looked
Yeah. Stop
crazy.
doing that shit.
Well, again, I'm less concerned with how it looks than the torture
Why
that
the
that poor
fuck
baby
did you think
was
that was a
probably
good
under.
idea?
Well, they showed part of the video where the lady was like braiding hair. The baby didn't really seem to mind it much, but if she continues to keep doing that to that soft baby hair like that, she's gonna have way more problems than what she has now. Like you can cause permanent damage to the follicles and things like that when they're that small. But yeah, people just, I don't know. A lot of people just don't know
Yeah,
how to let kids be kids. Like
and that's
I
my thing. Like let them be babies. Like just
I
they only
feel
get one. They only get one time to be that young. Just let them do it.
I feel so I feel bad for a lot of kids coming up in like this day and time, because either a lot of the parents are not letting the kids be kids, or like they are, which I guess is a part of not letting kids be kids. Like they expect too much out of the kids. They want to like dress them up for like social media and make them look older and growner, and think like some of the adult behaviors are funny, and like, or like their whole space is not like respected. Like I was watching this one video where there was this father that had his daughter in the back seat, and I don't think this child was 3, but he was like listening to a Jeezy song, and this little 3-year-old knew like the words to this
Yeah.
Jeezy song, and um and they thought that was cute, and I'm like, it I just, yeah, I feel bad. Like, I feel bad. Um,
I mean,
There was a time when I was driving down the street with my 9-year-old niece in the back seat, and I'm young and stupid. I'm listening to Put It in Your Mouth, and she's singing the chorus at the top of her lungs. And I'm like, yeah, this is probably the moment I need to realize what I'm doing in front of people's children.
but
well,
if you
yes,
knew
and
the
yes,
chorus, you obviously weren't the first one that did
Oh,
it.
right.
Like,
nah, I'm sure her mama.
But
Hey, sis.
but here's my thing about this, because I mean, I have the same visceral reaction to kids listening to things like that. But then I think about some of the things that I used to listen to when I was really young. And now when I listen to those things and I actually know what they mean, I'm like, I cannot believe my parents let me listen to you
There's
know what I
something to
mean?
be
Like
said
I'm
for back in the days where they at least disguised it.
I was getting
You
ready to say
didn't
they were
really
a
know the
little
well, I
more
meaning.
mean,
creative in a lot of the songs. Not all of
well,
Yeah.
them.
that's true, but not all of them were that like very well disguised. But I used to sing stuff at the top of my lungs because I always liked music, and my parents never said anything, and some of those things I'm sad to say that I was very old before I realized what the hell they were talking about.
Like pull up to my bumper.
Pink Cadillac.
Uh, Love Come Down.
Love come down. Yeah.
Mary
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jane.
I must have. Yeah,
Sugar
I was a
walls.
smooth. I was a smooth 35 before I understood what that one. Oh, Sugar Walls. I knew what it was right away. But
I didn't know what sugar walls was until about my 20s. Um, but I didn't like that song all that much, so I guess that's the reason why I didn't pay
I
much
didn't
attention to
care
it.
for it either. Like it wasn't my favorite, but
No.
eh.
Um, that, but, and it's weird because like a lot of the like vanity stuff, a lot of the Prince stuff, I kind of knew early on that was, but you
Yeah,
expected
I
that
knew
kind of
exactly
stuff
what that
from like
was.
people like that, like Rick James and all that other stuff, like that stuff, even though it was kind of like disguised in some of it, not
Yeah,
all of
I
it.
was gonna say not.
Um,
Uh, I
but
was gonna say not so much of it, but you know,
like Sheena Easton with her
Rick is.
friendly ass, you wouldn't expect her to be, like
Well, that was her Prince phase,
yeah.
so I did
Um,
expect it.
Grace Jones was a little more risque, but
Yeah, I was gonna say Rick James was very risque, but he only disguised it enough to get played on the radio. Like,
yeah,
that
that's
was it.
that's about it. Yeah. Um,
Same thing with Prince, and sometimes Prince didn't even bother to do that.
no,
It was just like
no.
so.
Yo, I didn't
Yeah,
know till
Um,
last week there was a video for Give It to Me.
say what? No.
right.
Yeah.
Give me that stuff, that funk, that sweet, that funky
Did
stuff.
I know
Yeah,
that I had a video? I think I did.
I
I was
did.
not a
Yeah,
Rick James fan at all.
I was
I
raised
like Rick.
overseas. We did not have television like that.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was not a Rick James. I always
yeah.
thought Rick
But
James was just
yeah,
this nasty, dirty old man.
Had to wreck
He just
it.
looked nasty.
well, he was nasty, dirty old Rick
But
James,
he
but
just
that's
looked nasty.
that's
And I
why he
think
was funny. Yeah,
he just
but
looked nasty,
but my point
sweaty.
is, yeah, but my point is, my
Son of
parents pretty
James
much
Brown looking ass.
left me alone to my own devices to listen to these things. And when I think about it, I'm like, why would they let me listen to that? But then I think about it further, and I'm like, I didn't know what half that shit was talking about anyway. Like even Rick James songs, like I knew he was being nasty, I just didn't know what it meant. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know specifics. I just knew he was nasty.
So my grandmother raised me, and my mom was a music person. My grandmother was too. But my mom had more of like the popular like R&B like type stuff, and my grandmother, she listened more to like church stuff, and she did listen to like Aretha and different people like that. But I'll never forget the day that I heard "I'm Yours" playing out of my grandmother's speakers. And first of all, to hear it playing was one of those things. I was like a kid, like, hey, that sounds kind of cool. She was my first introduction to Prince, which was funny because I was like this serious Prince fan. Like, I remember my grandmother once getting some book or whatever that had all these books, these pictures of Prince in them. And I tore that book up and I plastered the wall and I had the ceilings and the doors with Prince pictures. They were all over the room. The only other pictures that existed was probably LL Cool J and New Edition. And Andre Simone. But Prince had every inch that I could put anything on. That's what it was. And ultimately, my grandmother really did not like the fact that I was such a Prince fan because, he was dirty and she wanted me to be a Michael Jackson fan.
Oh, the irony.
Right. She wanted me to be a Michael Jackson fan, and she felt like Prince was a little too adult for me. But like I said, it's just funny because she was my first introduction to him. And right about that time, like my mom used to leave the radio on like while we slept. And so that's how I ended up listening to Mojo all the time because well, you two aren't from here, but Mojo is this he's
I
like
know who
this
he is.
legendary Detroit like DJ, and
Yeah.
Prince credits him actually for helping to get his music out there and stuff like that because Mojo believed in him at the beginning. But um yeah, so I would listen to all of Mojo, and Mojo was such a Prince fan. Like, he would play, like, some days he would just have hours and hours and hours of Prince playing or whatever, and I became a fan. And my granny, she did not like that. She did not like that. I remember I won a track meet for something, and she's like, I got this surprise at home for you, and I'm all excited to get home or whatever. And I came in and it was like this bag that had the replica of the Beat It and the Thriller jacket in it. I was like, oh my God.
That was a come up back then.
Right.
Um,
Well, I'll tell you this though. I guess with my parents, well, first of all, my parents were my mom my mom was pseudo religious,
okay.
but my dad was not. So it just really wasn't a thing. But I guess the reason why my parents never really said anything to me about me listening to Prince or Rick James or whoever
Hmm.
is because they sitting in there with a collection of Millie Jackson records and like, what were you gonna say to me? You know what I mean?
That one
Like, how
album
dare
she got
you?
with her sitting on the toilet in the corner.
Right.
Millie Jackson was something else.
Yeah, she was very ahead of her time.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's what you call it.
She kept it real for
Yeah.
real.
For real, right. And so I guess, the music I was listening to was not as bad as that. So,
Yeah, no, you couldn't get much worse than Millie. She was definitely foul mouth. What about your musical upbringing, Magic?
he was in another country.
Quick history lesson. I was born in Plainfield, New Jersey in 1975. For those who don't know the
That's a
music
baby.
significance of that, I will say George Clinton in Parliament was a doo-wop group out of Newark. The band Funkadelic is from Plainfield, New Jersey, so that's all my mother, her brothers, sisters, cousins was on, period, point blank. Obviously, they had people in and out the group, so I had different family members in and out, a lot of drugs involved. So mom was funk up and down, and my father was on that nasty blues shit. So I just fell into
Okay.
hip hop later on down the line.
Yeah.
I don't think we
Hmm.
had. I don't know that my grandmother liked Z, and I don't think my mom did either. Like blues all that much.
My mom liked blues. My mom liked the blues. My dad, I mean, my mom also liked R&B, but my dad was, I mean, he was an R&B guy. like Like he would get me all the music before,
Yeah.
like even seemingly before it was released in this country. When my dad was stationed in Germany, he would always send me stuff before it got released in the United States.
Yeah, I don't remember much blues as a kid coming up, and my household was interesting because my granny was responsible for the side of me that likes gospel and like maybe some old school Motown and Prince and stuff like that. My mom was more of the R&B person. Like I remember playing my mom's Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life and album, and so that was definitely the reason why I fell in love with Stevie, because that just is a masterpiece to this day. um and my uncle was more of a jazz guy, and he lived in the house up until like right before I was a teenager, I believe. I don't remember much, but I mean, I don't remember when he left, but right before I was a teenager, so I had a lot of exposure to like jazz and stuff like that. So he's responsible for my love for jazz.
Hmm.
I had a I had a variety in my household.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the jazz band, so I mean, I guess my mom liked a little bit of jazz too. My parents liked a little bit of jazz, so I
Mhm.
mean, I kind of fell into jazz, and my
I've
mom liked
never heard
blues.
you
And
listen to any jazz.
you never heard me listen to jazz?
No,
Oh
Not
well,
even
I
Herbie
mean, I don't.
Hancock?
no.
I don't listen to it around you, but I mean, to me, certain music has certain applications in my life.
Okay, got to be in a certain
Like
mood.
I have to be in a certain mood for jazz. Um, Jazz is not something that I would ever listen to like with other people. You know what I mean? Like it's just not that. Jazz to me is not a social
Okay.
music. It just isn't. Jazz is just I'm chilling on my own kind of music.
On my
You
own.
also have never heard me listen to the blues around you, probably.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Right. Right. And that's what I'm
Jazz
saying.
is
Like I
very
never
social
even
live.
it's very what?
Social
Very
life.
Well,
social
Yeah.
live.
well, yes, yes, yes. I mean, if you were going to go out to a jazz club or something, but I mean, jazz is just not music that, if we're all chilling, sitting around, that I would just put on some jazz. Nah.
Need you to get some better
I
friends.
I just wouldn't think to do that cuz
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
Cliff
I just
Huxtable did
wouldn't.
it all the time.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
That actually is funny that you bring up Cliff Huxtable, because I did have one thing that I'll squeeze in here. The Cosby Show. Ha ha. Uh, what Cosby Show character did you identify with the most, and why?
Denise, nah,
Oh,
what's the fuck Vanessa?
Hmm.
really?
Pause. But whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I'm trans dark skinned. Y'all don't understand the struggle. She was just different. She was the weirdo and she was cool in that. She was never the main character in much of shit. She was just there living her life.
Okay. Storm?
If I'm being honest, uh
Bud.
two parts. What?
Bud.
What did he say? Bud? No.
Bud.
I was going to say equal parts Claire and Rudy. Oddly
Claire
enough.
and Rudy. Okay.
Versatile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about
It's
I
you,
mean,
Stara?
it's weird. If I have to pick one, it would be Denise. Um,
The rebel?
yeah. Huh? Yeah,
The
I am.
rebel?
Yeah, I am that part. I am that weirdo rebel. whatever. But I do feel like that I am more of a combination or a mashup of Denise, Vanessa, Claire, and Cliff.
Lord, you
And not
cousin
in equal
Pam.
parts.
Right.
And not in equal parts. I don't, you know what, Pam? Yeah, no, I didn't know. It's not that I didn't like Pam. I just, yeah. But there's a little bit of, I'll say I'm about 20% Claire,
I liked her
30%
better as Maxine Shaw, attorney at
Matt.
law.
Oh, at law.
Yeah. Now I
Um,
identified with her as Maxine Shaw. Like
yeah,
big time.
yeah.
Man
But I
hating
would be
hussy.
probably 20,
What?
25% Claire. Woohoo!
She
Go
was
ahead.
not man hating, for the record.
You would feel
She
that.
was not. No, she.
Okay.
I think she liked men a little too much, which is why I identified with her.
She was at Kyle's throat at every opportunity.
They
And
were
he
at
at
each
hers.
other's throat. Right.
Right. Like you missed
I
that
didn't
part.
say he wasn't either, but facts are facts.
Okay,
Um,
well, he was at her throat. Does that mean he hated women?
Kyle was sus. Back
he
to the
said
point.
Okay.
20% Claire.
20, 25% Claire. And well, 25% Claire. I'll say 45% uh Cliff and the rest Vanessa. Was that 30?
You started off by
I mean, no,
saying more Denise than
not
everybody.
Yeah,
Vanessa. Denise.
I wasn't paying
The rest
attention to your
Denise.
math.
I'm sorry, the rest Denise.
What
The
was
rest
it,
Denise.
25 to
Yeah.
Because
60? That's 15%
yeah,
left?
no, listen. So 25 and 45 is 70. So 30%
Okay.
is Denise. And even though I really,
Again, I was not paying attention to your math, so you could have said
She
anything,
was
and I'd have
right.
been like, okay, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I
no,
mean,
my point is, I wasn't checking it, so it doesn't matter.
even though I said I identify more with Denise, but I feel like Denise and Cliff were a little more similar than
You
what
think?
people realize. Yeah, than what people realize. Like, I
Age
felt like,
progression.
yeah. So, but if we wanted to move on to living single, I would be what's her name, Queen, without
No, okay.
being necessarily without the pantsuits.
Yeah, yeah. No, me definitely Maxine Shaw, pantsuits and all, like, like all of that,
What's
all
up,
of
boy's
that.
name? Scooter?
Who
I'm sorry.
Queen? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
her
was it
boyfriend's
Scooter?
name.
Yeah,
Scooter.
yeah. His, mm,
Scooter. That
yeah,
was a great
Scooter.
show, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. It
Great.
was.
Friends could never.
Yeah,
Could never.
yeah,
I
never.
mean, and don't get me wrong, I didn't hate Friends the way you seem to. Like, I didn't hate it,
That
but
was the
it
not funniest shit on television.
uh, they
If
had
there was
some.
not for
It
laugh
had some.
tracks, there was.
It had some. It had some parts. I wouldn't say it was nearly as entertaining as Living Single. I would
I
not
Not
say
even
agree.
that at
I
all.
close.
agree. Because I didn't hate Friends, but I do
I didn't
remember.
hate it,
I do
but
remember not getting into Friends until later on, and I thought
right.
to myself, "This ain't shit," but like the Caucasian
The,
version of Living
of
Single.
Living Single.
Like,
Well, the only thing I hated about Friends
They're in
is
East New
that
York and can't find a black person.
that yeah, like I thought that was weird, but I think that's weird about a lot of shows
they
where
had
I'm
black
like,
people. They had that dude, that one dude that shows up. He's like the
okay,
token black.
again, New York.
No, what's her name was on
it,
the show in the last season or two, but it was
yeah,
forced.
yeah, she was,
Well,
but
they had
yeah,
more black people in
Joy, what's her name?
Seinfeld. They had more black people than Seinfeld, and Seinfeld will live where? Where was he?
New
He
York.
was in
But
New
I
York
wasn't.
too, but I don't think either
Yeah,
one of them top 10 in all the
I
damn
wasn't really a
seasons combined.
Seinfeld person either.
I thought Seinfeld was kind of funny.
Seinfeld was funny.
Well, I mean, it was funny, but also, I guess I didn't miss black people on Seinfeld because Seinfeld was a lot of. It was funny, but it was a lot of Jewish humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of. It was a lot of that type of humor. So
no soup for you.
Just gonna mention Jewish and soup Nazi in the same. Okay.
Right.
So
exactly.
It was nice having this podcast, people. We appreciate y'all sticking with us for this long. Fuck.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I just thought about the implications of that. I didn't mean.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe how good we used to be.
We're gonna get canceled. Oh my gosh.
It was the Threesome Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Used to be the Threesome Pod on X.
On what?
Success is
Twitter?
like pregnancy. People always congratulate you on it, but they don't know how many times you got fucked to get there. Good night, people.
Okay.
I like that.
Iced tea.
I like that.
What the hell?
I just gave the baby some water and she spit it back out on me.
And you ain't punch her in the face?
Oh no, don't punch no baby in the face.
Principalities.
That's right. Yeah, see, these
Why
kids
you
are
spit
soft.
that back out on me?
That punk ass grandchild of mine would dot his high yellow head.
Stop that! Are you getting no more water? No more. No harm.
Anyway, y'all, it's been fun. I'm about to go walk the dog.
Say woof woof.
I like my salami sandwich.
Did you hear? Wait.
I heard her.
Yeah, it did.
She's like, woof.